Welcome back to Living Large Radio with Mark Henry. I'm your host today. We're going hostless, I guess I would say, but I'm joined with a very special guest. We've got Tyler Washington from our Ballantine office, Senior Financial Advisor at Alloy Wealth. Tyler, welcome on.
Happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been on the radio.
It has. It's been a while since you've been on the television show, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And why is that? It's not because you're not the favorite. You are one of our, I guess, longest senior financial advisor.
Yeah, 5 years.
The company 5 years, yeah, and just crushing it out there in the Ballantine location. I want to talk a little about you, but the reason that Tyler has not been on the television show lately or the radio show is you service an awful lot of people in the Charlotte area.
I do.
How many clients do you have? Do you know a number? I mean, I know it changes, it goes up every day, but what is it?
It's quite a bit. We're over about 220 at this point.
You service?
Yeah.
Yeah, that are
Me,
your
myself, and Daniel.
Yeah, well, you
Daniel's
have a
been
team.
helping me
You have
a
a
lot.
team. Yes,
Yeah.
you have a team of people.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Daniel.
No, and Courtney, Erica, the entire. That's one of the things that makes Alloy Wealth so different than other firms is because typically when you worked, you were the person working at those big box firms.
Yeah.
You were actually the biggest or second biggest. Is it top three?
At the time, it was second biggest.
Second biggest when you were with them. Yeah. So one of the biggest box retailers there is. But when you were working at that, you were your clients. Like you were the advisor, and that pretty much means that's you. That was your team, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a big difference. And we found that, listen, when things happen, especially when you're older and you need to speak to someone, you don't need to get a call back in 2 days. And that's why we have a team of people that know you're all 220, 230 clients.
Yep.
They know them, and they're fully capable, licensed people that can actually step in if you were on vacation.
Yeah.
Not that you take many vacations, but anyway. So that's another story. That's a story for another day. Tyler, tell us a little about yourself, though. You actually worked on Wall Street at one time.
Yeah, so I worked on Wall Street for the first 6 years of my career. Started right out of college.
Yep.
I got my licenses back in 2010.
Yeah.
Spent 6 years down there in New York. Lived in New York. I grew up there. Was born and raised there, and spent 6 years living on
Long Island?
Grew up on Long Island.
That's what I thought.
Yep. Spent 6 years living in Manhattan, commuting back and forth on the subway to Lower Manhattan, the financial district down there in Battery Park. Had a really nice view of the Statue of Liberty from where I sat every day. It's pretty cool. It's
That's
a piece of American history.
That's a good view. Yeah.
Spent after about 6 years of being there, my wife and I decided to move back to Long Island.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's lived in New York, in that area around the city, Long Island, Westchester, anywhere around there, that commute is not something to mess with. So,
is it brutal?
Oh, it was a 5:44 a.m. train to get into the office by 7:45. So minimum of 2 hours each day. And in the mornings, it's really not so bad. You put your headphones in, you listen to a podcast, you listen to the radio, but it's really the way home because you know the hours that we work here.
Sure.
So when you're leaving the office at 7 o'clock and you know you're not getting home until 9:30 just to wake up tomorrow to do it again, I don't know how people do it for 30 years. And having two young kids now, thinking about not being able to be at baseball games and school events, that's just not the way I wanted to live my life. So
that's what got you to Charlotte.
Yeah. After doing that for about 6 years, I went and opened an office out on Long Island and did that for another just about 3.5 years before I moved to Charlotte.
Yep.
And then, we moved down here to be closer to the rest of our family. The whole family's here now. We actually are all living down in Waxhaw now.
Yeah.
So we're all within a little 10 or 15 minute bubble of each other and spend a lot of time together on the weekends, the weeknights. I'm actually helping my father-in-law move some stuff this week from where he's at now to their new house down in Waxhaw. So
it's exciting.
It's a better life. We really enjoy it here, my wife and I. The only regret we have is we didn't do it sooner.
I think that makes you a damn Yankee.
Yeah, because I know the difference. Yankees come and visit. Damn Yankees don't leave. We ain't ever leaving. We ain't going anywhere. You're not getting rid of us. I like to think I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah, I know you are. That's why you're with me, and truly one of the best hires I've made in the last 10 years, and so happy. And I know the way you service your clients. People really love you. So let's jump into these retirement surveys. I promise an action-packed show today, and I want to see if we can surprise anybody with this. So, the first survey I'm going to address is this Schroeder survey. It's a big one, but we've got several that we're going to talk about. But The first part of this survey that really shocked me is just 2 in 5, 40% of retirees believe they have enough money saved for retirement.
It's a low number.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So you get to sit with people every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job, and where you're at in your career. And these people come in and they take us up on the offer to build them a plan done by a certified financial planner. And I'm sure when they come in, they're nervous or they're not sure what's going to be expected, or is it a judge-free zone or a judgment zone? And it's definitely not a judgment zone, as you know.
Yeah.
And but would you say that survey mimics the people you're seeing in the Charlotte market?
Yeah, I would say the most common concern is, do I have enough?
Yeah.
Can I live the life I want to live and be retired, stop working?
When you think about that brand, Alloy Wealth, the name Alloy is because, it's a metal, and you take several metals, you combine them together to make them stronger than they were by themselves. Well, the Living Large part of our brand, the radio, the television show, we're coming up on almost 300 episodes of Living Large TV. It's incredible.
Yeah.
We've been on radio now in Charlotte for, I don't know, close to 15 years or a little over. In the surrounding Carolinas, we're
Yeah.
everywhere, as you know. But these people that come in, they all seem to have this concern, and many of them, probably more, at least when I was seeing clients, more of them than less actually had saved enough, but they had no idea. They didn't know how to translate. No one had ever showed them how to take what was on a piece of paper and turn that in to retirement.
Yeah.
Would that be a fair way to say it?
Yeah, absolutely. To actually get a written plan and understand where you're going to be taking income from, where you're going to be drawing money from, what that all looks like. A lot of people, their main concern is not having enough, but when you sit down and build out a plan, you realize for a lot of people, most people, that you do have enough to be able to live the life.
What does that look like from your standpoint when you deliver back a plan to them? They're not a client yet. Maybe there'll be one, maybe they won't. Mm-hmm. But when you deliver back a plan that in writing that shows them, oh my gosh, we can retire, or we will be able to retire.
That's why I do what I do. Those are the best cases. Those are the best clients, the ones that had all this stress and were under so much pressure, thinking they just didn't have enough to do what they wanted to do and live the life they wanted to live. And when we can actually map it out and show it to them, and obviously things change, life happens. I always use the analogy, when we build this plan out, it's like a football game. The first 15 plays of every football game are scripted, okay? And then after the 15 plays, they make adjustments. What we're looking at doing is building your first 15 plays, and as life changes, we're going to make those adjustments. But without building out that plan and understanding that roadmap of where you're going and where you want to be, that stress never leaves you. You always feel that, do I have enough? Is this going to be enough? Can we make it? And when we come in, people come in and we're able to show them, yes, you could stop working tomorrow if you really wanted to. That's why I get up every day and come to work.
Yeah.
To be able to tell those people that type of information.
That's why I built the company. Mm-hmm. That's why it was designed. That's why, we've been far more successful. I have, and this company's been grown to be far bigger than I ever dreamed. The amount of clients we have, the breadth, and we're still growing. Opening new offices all the time. It's my passion. When you think about all those years you spent in the big box firms, the people you worked with, good men and women, mm-hmm. I know they are because I hire them. I go there and poach the very best. Is that not true?
It's true.
It's what we do. That's where I try to find them, because they've worked hard and now they want to really be able to service their client. We come at this, everything you do is about serving. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So when you think about that, the difference for you, leaving the big box firm and actually doing this, with the word passion, did you see the passion for the job, for the career, when you were at a big box firm the way it is today?
Not the way it is today, no. It definitely...
Did your peers have the passion, or were they just going through the grind of a gear in a wheel? Honestly.
Honestly, we were all going through the grind of a gear in a wheel. It's...
I get that. And I asked that, I'm asking a question I already know the answer to, because by and large, every single advisor, all licensed the same way, Series 65, uniform investor law license and all, they all, when they've joined us and made this transition, they rediscover the why.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Because they're no longer a gear in a big machine.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to break down this several. We got to go commercial break, but we've really got some exciting stuff coming up. But right now, we want to make an offer available for you. There's nothing for sale, but this is really simple. You pick up the phone call and you call us at 800-501-9805. Again, that number is 800-501-9805. You come into one of our beautiful offices, whether it's Ballantyne, that's where Tyler's at, or Mint Hill. You're in Mint Hill a lot. Mm-hmm. Greenville, you still go to Greenville a good bit. We have the offices at Huntersville, up there at the lake. But you come in, you set an appointment to sit down with someone just like Tyler, maybe Tyler himself, and they're going to help you build a much more confident financial future by doing one thing: building a written plan based around what you want to do with your money, and it's 100% complimentary. It's our opportunity to serve you. Now, good news is you might become a client. That'd be fabulous. What a cool thing that would be. But that's not what it's about. It's about sitting down and discussing with you in a judge-free zone what you've done, what you want to do, and where you want your money to take you in and through retirement. It all starts with a phone call at 800-501-9805. I said we're going to expose the most overlooked risk in retirement today, and I said it was not market volatility or inflation, and you know what it is. Mm-hmm. But this is coming off the Schroeder survey that was done, the 2025 U.S. Retirement Survey, and I've got like 5 or 6 surveys here, the Senior Citizens League survey and a bunch of others. But in all of them, this was the #1 most overlooked risk. And if you guessed taxes, health care, interest rates, yeah, they were wrong. So go ahead and spoil it. What is the #1 risk?
Income. Where am I going to get a paycheck in retirement?
Think about that. Income. It is the #1, and it literally says, every day you're in with these client meetings, and they think they're going to live to what? What's typical that you hear?
78, 80, 82.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it another 10 years.
Yeah. And what is your findings really finding?
Well, people are living longer.
Yeah. Hey, newsflash, we are living longer. And, again, I'm speaking to the choir now, but over the 5 years you and I have been together, look back at the pictures of Mark that hired you 5 years ago, over 5 years,
yeah,
and Mark today. Is there a little difference?
It's a different clothing size, different suit size.
Different suit size for sure. But could I not say the same to you? And you're much younger than me.
Yeah.
But are you not taking your health much more serious than you did 5 years ago?
I'm trying to get in there 4 or 5 days a week, making sure I'm eating better.
Yeah.
It's hard on the weekends, especially in the summertime. But.
Yeah. You have a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing that, and we're finding other people doing that. So why does this tie into income?
You need your money to last longer if you're going to live longer.
There you go. And the reality is, when people say, well, Mark, the stats say you're doing surveys, the surveys say, statistically, a man's only going to live to 78 years old. Well, hold on. Yes, that is birth to when they die. If you're already 60 years old, newsflash, you're living a lot longer on the surveys than 78. Mm-hmm. And if you're already 70, you got a heck of a shot of getting to 92. Mm-hmm. And that's what people don't take into account. So when you think about this, and I think about that word income, some people are overlooking this. They're driving in their car, listening at home on the AM radio, the AM dial, and they're going, yeah, that's not me, I've got money. Well, tell me where on that statement, Tyler, you've looked at probably more statements than I have in your career, even though I'm a lot older, but you've looked at a ton. And have you seen one yet that tells you how much you can spend every month after inflation, after taxation, adjusted for inflation, and not run out of money at 95?
No.
No? Was that the answer?
No. You don't see that on a statement. You got to get a written plan to understand that.
Okay, but don't most clients honestly believe they have a plan when they come in? They already have some kind of a plan?
You mean the statement they get in the mail every month?
Yeah, Wall Street has lied to them. It's tried to convince them that that plethora of accounts, 403b, 401, Roth, individual brokerage account, bank statement, whatever it is, that's their retirement plan. Is that what a retirement plan looks like?
No. No.
Any way, shape, or form?
No.
When you think of an actual retirement plan, how many people take us up on this offer? You can actually go ahead and get a jump on the calls because we only have 15 spots open, and I think 5 or 6 of them were claimed in that last segment by calling 800-501-9805. Again, that number, 800-501-9805. But Tyler, of those people coming in, how many of them actually bring you a written plan and say, I would like you to get a second opinion on my current plan?
An actual written plan?
Yes.
That's never happened.
Wait, I'm sorry, you broke up.
That's never happened. 16 years doing this.
Are y'all listening to this? I know Tyler personally. He's not a liar. In 16 years, he's never had someone bring in an actual written plan done by a certified financial planner, lay it on the desk and say, I would like your opinion of my current plan. So am I crazy, or do people plan the Disney vacation?
Yeah, we planned one earlier this year.
You did, didn't you? That's the reason I brought it up.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew exactly where we were going in the park.
Plan it? Did she plan where you were going to stay?
Yeah, we knew where
So before you left, you literally knew what hotel you were going in. You knew where you were going, what you were going to do.
We knew which parks we were going to, which rides we were going to at which times. The whole thing was mapped out, full strategic plan of how to accomplish Disney World in 4 days.
Okay.
A lot of credit to Val on that.
I'm sure she worked hard on it.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with it.
So people plan for a vacation for Europe, but they take no time to plan for a 30-year retirement?
It's a problem.
Is that the truth, though?
Yeah.
And I know saying that, you're listening going, yeah, that's me, and I don't want to admit to it. That's okay. Here's the deal. If, let's say, what you think you can do in retirement doesn't match what your savings tells you can do, when would you rather know that, Tyler? Sooner or later?
Right away.
So you could either make adjustments to save more, to position money differently, or to make changes in your lifestyle that might make a living large retirement a little better when you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. How can you know to make adjustments if you don't know that there's a problem?
Wow. Yeah. And the reality is this. Here's what we find. True living large, whatever that means to you, it's using what God's blessed you with to enrich your lives and the lives of others to the best of your ability. That's what I think of it as. For some clients, describe a living large client, one right now that's been working with you for a few years. You've helped them retire. What is their version? Think of one. What is their version of living large?
Going to the beach twice a year. So I'm thinking of a specific couple. They like to go to the beach twice a year.
Okay.
They want to be able to travel to see their grandkids. One of them's local, one of them's not local. So they want to spend as much time as they can with their grandkids. And ultimately, their goal is to help their children and their grandkids. Okay. Not to leave them all the money in the world, but to help them by bringing them their family. You can look at them and say, this is the way that I look at it, is that you have saved this money, and if you want to use it to give to your children, why not use it to create those memories with your children and your grandchildren?
Yeah. So if you ask me that same question about describing a client, I'm going to tell you about one of mine.
Tell me about one of yours.
Okay. So
I know who you're going to tell me about.
No, you may not. I was going to go a couple different ones.
Okay.
One would be, and I won't use her name, but amazing client. Never been married. Always wanted to. Said she got close a couple times, and then she was 55 and grumpy and never going to get married. I love her to death. I remember during COVID, she rode her Harley Davidson to out west, and she spent almost 4 months on the road. Traveling on her Harley in her early 70s, living large. Woman after my own heart. I love motorcycles. And I know her budget. I know her spending plan. And most people would believe she's never saved enough money, that she wasn't blessed with enough. She's a strong saver, but she just never earned a lot. Never got married, never earned a lot. But she's the definition of living large, her version of it. And if long-term care doesn't come her way, she'll leave money to cousins and nephews and nieces. But yet she's taking what she's been blessed with and just doing crazy stuff. I remember talking about, how did you accomplish this? She said, I said, I know what you make. She goes, Mark, it was so easy because it was COVID. They let me tent camp for like $6 a night. And she says, about every 2 weeks, I'd get a Motel 6 for $30 so I could get a hot shower. And just the definition of living large. And I think about another one that is a current client, and they're traveling so heavily right now. Like they are just, man, they're just crushing it in the RV and just literally everywhere. They're always somewhere. And they're knocking this out while they're in their 60s and they're going to do it for, I don't know, they think another 3 or 4 years. They may get tired of it, but they're burning up the roads. They are seeing everything they've ever wanted to see, and they're doing it. Now, some people might look at them and go, oh, they're going to run out of money because they're just spending it so fast and all. No, they've got a plan designed around spending money from 65 to 75, the go-go years. Mm-hmm. Going from 75 to 85, spending less, adjusted for inflation, because they're just not going to, they say, we will be there, done that, got a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then they just don't want to be broke between 85 and 95, the no-go years. Mm-hmm. So they have a written plan that allows them to do that, and they're just having the time of their lives. What's your version of living large? What's your version? How do you use what God's blessed you with to enrich your family's lives, your lives? Or are you just going to be like the people you definitely know that had all these ideas of what the, quote, golden years, whatever that means, was going to look like, and they did absolutely nothing? It all starts with a phone call. 800-501-9805. It's your money. It's your choices. Why not get started on a confident financial future by getting a plan done by a certified financial planner and get it done for free? Let us serve you. We will build the plan by a certified financial planner, and it will be absolutely free. 800-501-9805. And you can also go to alloyquiz.com. See if you're ready for retirement. Go to Alloy, A-L-L-O-Y, quiz, Q-U-I-Z.com. It'll help you take the retirement readiness test. Tyler, thanks again for being on. And man, this has been a fun episode, fun show. I'm enjoying it. I can tell you right now that people are going to ask to have you back. And when you call in to get a plan, and I know you're going to, so again, that number is 800-501-9805. But when you call in, if you'd like to meet with Tyler, we have so many competent financial advisors in all our offices. Remember, they're all licensed the exact same way. Series 65 Uniform Investor Law License. They're all fiduciaries. That's what that means. But if you'd like to have Tyler, just tell the operators when you call in, hey, I want Tyler Washington. I'm from New York. Or if you don't want to work with New York, say, I want anybody but Tyler. How about that? No one's going to say that, Tyler. I shouldn't have done that.
Maybe one or two.
But Tyler's my friend, and as all our advisors are, we're more like family than anything, than workers, co-workers. Tyler, let's jump back into this thing. This thing is pretty darn cool. So going over this list, the top 5 concerns plaguing retired Americans in 2025, and this is a big survey, but number 1 on the list, coming in at 92%. 92% of the Schroeder survey. Inflation is the number 1 concern, 92% of the people. I don't understand this one, Tyler. Don't understand it, because inflation is coming down. Our President Donald Trump is doing an amazing job of getting inflation down. Why are they so concerned?
Well, when you think about what inflation actually is, it's the rising cost of goods.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if inflation's coming down, the cost of goods are still rising. Prices aren't coming down. We would have to have negative inflation to actually see prices reduced at the places where it matters the most, the supermarket, the gas pump, these areas. We'd have to see prices coming back down to where they were 5 years ago to start to feel that confidence again. And that's just simply not going to happen, Mark.
That's exactly right.
Slowing inflation
Yep.
does not mean negative inflation.
That's correct.
The cost of goods is still rising.
Tyler,
that's
you
still-
couldn't have said it better, and obviously I knew the answer, but I wanted you to explain it that way because here's what nobody's thinking about. Gas may come down because we had such bad energy policies, and I really believe Donald Trump's doing a great job on the energy side. But when you went to Disney World,
Oh,
tell me about that. That was this year.
yeah. Back in February, Val and I took
a
the
family
boys.
of 4.
Yeah, took the boys. We were there for just under a week, 5 days, and man,
Was it more than you thought? And you planned it.
yeah.
Did it cost more?
Yes. Yeah, we had
significantly more.
set aside money every month last year for the trip,
Yeah.
putting it in a different little savings
Sure.
account so that we know we're taken care of when we go there. And you start to make those payments and see what the flights cost and see what the hotel cost and see what it all costs. And I got a great deal. I have a really good client that helped me out with one of their connections that they have there. I'm very grateful to her for that. But yeah, it ain't cheap, Mark.
It's not cheap.
And it was more than we had planned for.
So many seniors are struggling right now because the reality is inflation's real. It was absolutely out of control. I don't want to be political when I say this, but I'm going to be. We were lied to. It's transitory. It's this, it's that. Those were all absolute outright lies. The older I get, I guess, the more I used to think conspiracy theories were just that. They were just a bunch of kooks on the late night radio. What was that guy's name? Andy Bell or whatever his name was, the late night show. I used to love to watch it about aliens and all that kind of stuff, late night radio. Somebody call in or text in and tell us because I don't remember that, but it was a great show that he was on for years and years and years. The older I get, these conspiracy theories, they're not conspiracies. They're real as they get. And we were lied to, and inflation was absolutely out of control. So while our current administration, to me, is doing a great job in trying to get things back under control, it's like toothpaste out of a tube. You ever try to put it back? It ain't happening.
Do it.
You can't do it. And what I mean by that is millions of Americans are struggling right now because they never had a plan for inflation in their. They worked with good people. These men and women they work with, by and large, do I find a bad one? Is there bad advisors? Of course there is. There's bad doctors. There's bad dentists. There's bad anything. But by and large, I find a very noble profession, and I believe most people in this industry are very good people, and they want to do the right things.
I agree.
But unfortunately, they don't have the tools in their toolbox to do it. When they work with these big box firms, you worked with them.
Yeah.
You were there for a long time. You were not allowed to address things like taxation.
No.
Taxes is a big part of this. Is it
Refer
not?
to your CPA.
Refer to somebody
sad to
else.
say.
You weren't allowed to address concerns about health care and rising health care costs. Refer to somebody else.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to talk about how to maximize Social Security in a retirement plan.
Yeah.
And so those, again, it doesn't make the person you're working with bad because they're not most likely. If they are, why are you with them? So you definitely need to call. If you think you got a bad one, you don't. You probably have a very good one. But breaking up is hard to do, but you're still going to need to break up. And that all starts with a phone call at 800-501-9805. Again, there's the number, 800-501-9805. And the reason I say you're going to break up, it's not because they're bad, it's because they are good, but they are limited in how they can help you prepare for retirement. I want to think of it this way. You're undertaking, people don't really even understand what retirement is, Tyler. I truly believe this. Because it's the first time in your life you're going to be unemployed. Retirement is unemployment. I've been unemployed in my life. I got fired. I remember very clearly when I told Terry I'd been replaced. And I came home, and she did exactly what a strong, good Southern woman does. She consoled me. She helped me build myself back up. She gave me time to mourn my job loss. It was such a blow to my ego. And you know how long that was, Tyler? How long she let me do all that?
24 hours?
Yeah, a little less. And then she kicked me out the door the next day and said, go find a job and take care of this family. That's what a good, strong Southern woman does, Tyler. I'm just going to tell you right now. So she gave me 24 hours to go get a job. And that's exactly what I did. I'm a pack mule. I had to go out there and go work, build an empire, do what I do. Great. Retirement is the first time in your life you're going to be unemployed and you plan on staying that way how long?
Forever.
Forever. If you want to go back to work, it's because you want out of the house.
Yeah.
You're going down to Lowe's or Walmart just because you want to stay married. And I could see me doing that at some point. I'll need to get away. I'm never going to retire. But if I did, that would be the excuse. So when you think about that, how could you take what I would say is the most important job yet, retirement? You've saved, you've worked, maybe you've planned, maybe you haven't, but it's supposed to be the quote golden years. I don't even know what that means, but let's call it what I like to call it, living large. Finally, you've got time, you've got money, you're ready to go. Well, let's live large. How would anybody take that job and start that job without knowing what it pays?
Nobody would. If you tried to hire me 5 years ago and didn't tell me what you were going to pay me, I don't know that I would have taken the job.
Think about that. I know you wouldn't have taken it. And you wanted the job, correct?
Yeah.
You had vetted us, you had looked at it, you knew what you had, and you had a very good job with a very prestigious firm, big box firm. And you wanted this job. Is that fair?
Yes.
And I interviewed you many times, talked to your wife a couple of times, the whole 9 yards. But if I had not told you what you were going to be paid, how you would be compensated, you would not have taken this job.
No.
Period. That's it. You couldn't go home and tell Val, I got the job. What are we making? I don't know. That wouldn't have worked.
He said we'll be fine.
Yeah, he said we'd be fine. Boy, when I go home and Terry says, how was your day, Terry? I'm fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Newsflash, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So why would anybody go into a 30-year, 25-year retirement without knowing, with a high probability of success, how much you can be paid after taxation, adjusted for inflation, and not be broke at 95? And how many people out of 100 people that come in, and not clients, they're just coming in to talk to you about getting a plan done, how many of them currently can answer that?
None.
Zero. You know you fit that description. Okay, I get it. Your brother-in-law manages your money. You don't want to break up with him. Great, don't break up with him. Still make the phone call and get a plan done by a certified financial planner and get it done for free. Why? Because it's going to get you started on a much more confident financial future. Don't be a statistic here in one of these surveys. Don't end up 85 years old with plenty of money and never have done the things you wanted to do in life. Get started living large. And whatever your version of living large is, get started on that today by picking up the phone, 800-501-9805. It's not a toll-free helpline. Have your appointment book ready. Make the phone call. If you'd like to speak with Tyler, tell the operator, say, hey, and I want that Tyler guy out of New York, out of Long Island. And I heard he was a Mets fan, and I actually said it correctly.
You said it. You got it right.
I know. I always tease him. He's a Mets and a Jets fan. So there you go. Don't hold that against him, okay? 800-501-9805. You can also go to a very cool website, alloyquiz.com, A-L-L-O-Y quiz, Q-U-I-Z.com, and take the retirement readiness quiz. It's out there absolutely free. It all starts with a phone call. Get started on a much more confident financial future. Tyler, I've had a great time today. This has been fun. We don't have a. It has. It's been good. I want you back. I know a lot of people are going to ask for you when they call in. And listen, operators, we've just made the call. We did fill up all the slots that we had available today for getting a plan done, and I hate that, but I still want you to call because I've just told during the break, we told the operators to open up 5 more places. So that number to call, if you couldn't get through because it was busy, the number to call is 800-501-9805. If you want to go ahead and claim one of those, you can do it right now, 800-501-9805. There is 5 more. Tyler's like, Mark, where are we going to get them on the calendar? We will get them on the calendar. Have your appointment book ready. We will make it happen. I'm not going to have the lines closed. It's just wrong to do that. 800-501-9805. Hey, let's wrap this survey up. But this one right here, 86% are concerned about higher than expected health care costs. They say 86% say health care and retirement is really causing a financial concern.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Obviously, it's wrong. I hate it, but it's true.
It's the truth.
That's the truth.
Healthcare costs is going up. It's been going up.
Tell me about that. What's the numbers telling people?
Well, some of the numbers are a little scary. The average American, what they're going to spend on healthcare, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to scare anybody, but it's a high number in retirement. Okay.
When you think about the people that are working with their local bank, or maybe it's the one that's on every corner, the firm that's on every corner, have they addressed this at all for them?
I hope so, but probably not.
Yeah. Hope's not a strategy.
No, it's not.
It has to be talked about. We can't be an ostrich. We can't put our head in the sand and hope it doesn't happen for us. I hope for world peace.
Yeah.
Good luck, but we hope for world peace. But we have to have a strategy with how we're going to combat higher than expected healthcare costs.
Yeah.
What about, and when you say healthcare costs, are you talking about long-term care?
Well, that's part of it, yeah. So the numbers tell us 7 out of 10 Americans are going to need some sort of long-term care, whether that's in a facility or somebody coming to the house to help take care of things.
Right, so let me clear this up for you, Tyler. I've got that in my own plan, but there is no facility in Mark Henry. Okay, I am going to be out there in Locust. You know my house.
Yep.
You've been there. I will be in that house. It's got those 2 double front doors with hardwoods there. If you want to know if they ever got me, just come out there and open them doors. If you see nail marks going about 20 feet out that door, you know they got me, because that's the only way I'm leaving. So my plan is in place to allow me to stay in my home. Do you think I'm weird when I say that?
No, I think that's what everybody wants. Most people, at least.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody saying they want to go to a facility.
Yeah, but I will tell you that there are now, because this is such a thing, I have so many clients that are, and I don't want to say facilities, they're in these assisted living, retirement style places where they do offer care if you need it.
Yeah.
But they are thriving in them. And I still see myself staying home, but I'm young. I can't tell you how I'll feel when I get to the age of the clients I'm thinking about right now. But I got to tell you, they say it was the best decision they ever made.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
But again, they had a living large plan. They had a plan done by a certified financial planner that gave them the flexibility to actually go to a really nice place. And they're thriving.
Yeah.
So when you think about the long-term care aspect, not just the Medicare premiums and all that other stuff, and I want you to address that as well, but when you think about the actual long-term care, in your career at Alloy Wealth, have you ever offered a traditional long-term care insurance policy?
No.
Why?
No. Because they're a racket.
That's the New Yorker in him coming out. They're a racket.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
They're a racket.
Yeah, they get more expensive. The traditional long-term care policy doesn't have any death benefit, doesn't hold its value. If you never use it, you lose all the money you paid into it. And then when you do need it, it typically doesn't cover as much as they told you would.
Wow. That pretty much wraps it up on that. And guess what? We've never offered one.
No.
But are there options out there that most people don't even know about?
Yes, yes. There are ways to cover yourself, to increase your income, to have coverage, to have a death benefit. So if you never use it, you're leaving that money behind to your children or your grandchildren or your church or your favorite charity, whatever it may be.
Wow.
But there are different vehicles out there that allow for
what
that.
about if I did something like this, and then later in life my plan failed? Maybe I spent too much or whatever. But could I
You can reach in there and get some money.
I could?
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're describing something that has many options.
Like a Swiss Army knife.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? And I got to tell you, in my career, Tyler, I know the actual tool you're talking about. I've never seen one like it.
No, it's probably in terms of what it's
innovative.
used for,
Yeah.
it's the best thing going.
Yeah.
For
Most
what,
innovative. I believe there'll be other people copying it soon
without a doubt.
because it's just too good.
Yeah.
And they're going to want in on it. It's just too good. But right now, we have access to it. We know about it. And I haven't used it because I don't see clients as much as I once did. But I have some of my clients own it. I know that.
Yeah.
But is it still where they're not having to see a doctor to qualify for it?
No, it's a few questions over the phone, and
Really? I mean, it's still like that. Because when I
Yeah.
did it, it's only been out, what, less than a year, I think, or
Yeah.
something. But when I wrote it, I'm thinking about a particular client. He couldn't believe they weren't going to make him go to the
No.
blood test and weigh and scale and all
Nope.
the other stuff.
Nope. Nope. None of that. Just a few questions over the phone, and I believe the approval rate is upwards of 94%, something around that number.
Wow. They're really trying.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. They've got a new vehicle launch, and it's a A+ rated carrier. Is that correct?
Yeah. Long history.
Yeah, I love that tool. Love that tool. So there's an option out there for you. Talk to me about, though, like the actual rising healthcare costs, not long-term care, because I may not need that. I'm trying to take good care of myself. And a lot of people listening are thinking, I may not need that. Okay, maybe they will, maybe they won't. We should at least talk about it. But let's talk about the stuff that I am going to need. At some point, I know I'm a ways away, but at some point I will turn 65, Lord willing. What am I going to be forced to buy even if I didn't want it?
Medicare.
Medicare. Okay, so what's some of the mistakes you see people coming from a big box retail firm that was never addressed?
Well, Mark, what are your Medicare premiums based off of?
Newsflash. They're going to force you to buy something. Imagine our government doing this. Forcing you to buy something that you may not need or want. Forced to buy it, and the price you pay will be different than the neighbor living next door to you with a similar car, similar house, got a pool in the backyard, similar lifestyle, and they could be paying 2, 3, or 4 times less for their Medicare premium, the exact same policy, not a different brand.
That they have to buy.
That they have to buy the exact same one, but they're paying less because they had a better tax planner. I didn't say preparer, did I?
No.
We don't prepare taxes at Alloy Wealth.
No.
We plan for taxation at Alloy Wealth. So describe that to me. What does that mean exactly?
Well, at some point, whether you're, depending on how old you are now and when you turn 73 or when you turn 75, the government's going to force you, okay, to reach into your retirement accounts, your pre-tax retirement accounts, and pull money out. It's called the required minimum distribution. You know why they do that?
Yeah, so they can collect money.
Yeah, because you haven't paid the tax on it yet.
Right.
Okay. So when you reach into those accounts and you pull it out, it goes onto your taxable income.
Okay.
So even if you don't need it, even if you've got a plan that says, I'm never going to have to touch this money, whether it's 73 or 75, the government's going to come knocking and say, no, you have to take X amount of dollars out of these accounts because you haven't paid tax on it yet.
Okay.
That goes against your ordinary income. What happens to your Medicare premiums when you make more money?
They go up,
Yep.
and they can go up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're being held hostage to paying much higher health care costs, is in Medicare premiums, because you didn't have a firm that was working with you to help lower the provisional tax line on your 1040 form. It's that simple. Now, one of the things that just absolutely drives me nuts, you know, I'm a member of Freedom House Church in Charlotte. I love my church, you know that. It's the best thing I've done. I just truly love them. It's a great place. And new Ballantyne location's coming, by the way. Just announced Ballantyne location for Freedom House. So hey out there to Pastor Troy and Pastor Penny and all the other great pastors at the church. But one of the things that many people do that are listening to this show is they tithe at their church or their charity organization or whatever. But no one's ever taken the time to say, do you know, because you're taking those required minimum distributions, you could be reallocating them to cover your tithing and lower the provisional line on your tax return. So you're just simply doing something you're already doing. We just do it in a different manner to help you get the most benefit from it. And I'm sorry, I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If we can help you save money on taxation, help you pay less for your Medicare premium, and still do what you want to do with your money, why would we not? Tyler, this has been a great show today. We got to wrap it up, but I'm so happy you were on.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we go to the close, real quick, of what people should do?
If you're concerned about any of the topics we've discussed here today, just call us and come see us. It doesn't mean we're going to work together. It doesn't mean that we're the right fit for one another, but at least we can look at what's happening here and tell you what you need to be doing to get yourself in a position to have a successful retirement and really enjoy that retirement. And as Mark says, live large in retirement.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Phone lines are open, 800-501-9805. Again, 800-501-9805. Remember, if you couldn't get through, Keep calling. We did open up 5 more slots. They will get filled. AlloyQuiz.com, ALLOY quiz, QUIZ.com. Take the retirement readiness test. Hey, truly, I hope you found the information today useful and helpful, because that's how it's intended each and every week. And I always try to close with some sort of good news or something. And the world truly seems out of control sometimes. The things that we're hearing about past administrations and political stuff and news and whatever your views are, here's the deal. This week, I want you to do one thing. Try to do something I'm doing, and this is me talking to myself, but I am putting my phone away. I am trying to, when I go to dinner, I'm trying to lock the phone up, leave it in the car, and focus on what's truly important. And you know who that is? It's the person sitting across the table from you each and every night. Let's work this week, all of us, take the challenge to focus on our families and not give them quality time. Let's just give them time, because you know what they really want? Time, whether it's your grandkids, your children, or your spouse like mine of 31 years. Let's give them time this week. Hey, we'll see you again next week on Living Large Radio with Mark Henry, and maybe we'll have Tyler Washington back. Stay tuned.